Did we just catch Bill Gates dumping hundreds of chickens at his landfill?
Why are some of them alive?
Oh, they smell so bad.
Now, it's evident that you two have made giving back a key part of your lives, so, hey, when you have your firstborn, can I have it? Because that is going to be one special baby.
I had offers to sell my soul for riches in the art world. So I crafted my art to such a degree that I was approached by the upper echelon of the art world, and I had 3 offers to sell my soul.
I had a demon walk into my home recently, and it touched my arm, and it whispered into my ear. It burned my arm. I woke up as the middle of the night, and it touched my arm. I have a Proverbs 4:23 tattoo here, and it whispered in my ear. It said, "Your heart is mine."
Welcome back to the Wizard's Fish. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to Mark, who actually spotted me out in the wild doing some shopping the other day. I was completely caught off guard. I was not expecting that to happen, especially being in like northern Alberta, Canada. But yeah, that was pretty awesome. So it was a pleasure to meet you. Other than that, we will jump into things as usual. So viewer discretion is advised, and everything that you see and hear is for entertainment purposes only. Let's get into it.
De Molay? What's that all about? Oh, it represents Jacques de Molay, the Templar who got burned at the stake for being a devil worshipper. There's Walt Disney in his wizard outfit, a member of the De Molay Club, based off of the guy who got burned at the stake for bowing to Baphomet. Well, fellas, now that we've talked it over, all those in favor of us starting a barnyard chapter of De Molay, holla! Yay! Now we can all be devil worshippers. There is nothing nefarious going on here, folks, and you better not watch this video or you could be labeled a dangerous conspiracy theorist.
What is going on here, guys? The K came back. It came back. Look at his drink. The K came back. Now, I was there before and it left and it came back.
I always remember Chick-fil-A with no K, just CHIC, but in Canada, it's kind of a new thing. So I recall always seeing it with the C.
People are saying it has something to do with those 4 letters. And the first letter starts with a C. Something is going on out here, guys, and things are changing and going back and going back and changing and going back and going back and going back and changing. Yo, first of all, the K has always been there. Then the K left, and it made people think that the K was never there. Now the K is back. What is going on out here, guys? And based on this, I'm starting to think that we are living in the Matrix. People are saying that we're living in a simulation. If they could change that, then that would mean nothing is real anymore, bro. Because how is that possible? Why does the K come and go like that? Everywhere. Like everywhere, even on the restaurants. Something is going on out here, guys, ever since they turned that machine off. So just imagine when they turn it back on. I used to argue with people that it was always CHICK. Right? And now those people that said it was CHIC is now arguing with me saying it's always been CHICK. Something is going on out here, guys, and I can't explain it. That's all I'm saying, bro. Not just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only. It's always been CHICK, right? And if you look it up, it's changed everywhere, right? Something is going on here, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you know, and if you know anything, I'm out.
The man who essayed a 12-year-old actor is the one who directed all 3 of these films. This is Victor Salva, a writer and director in Hollywood. In the 1980s, when Victor was making his movie Clown House, he essayed a 12-year-old boy and recorded it. Reportedly, he had been using his parents to groom the young boy for years. Authorities also found CP in his house. He was convicted of the crimes in 1988, and in 1989 he was released after serving 15 months in prison. He went on to make his most famous film, Jeepers Creepers, but it's the 3rd one that is really problematic. In the making of Jeepers Creepers 3, acting unions pulled casting calls because Victor tried to cast a young girl who was going to play a female getting abused by her stepfather. Also in the original script, he had added in lines that were justifications of the essay of children. Even with his past and with a lot of backlash, Disney still asked him to write and direct the film Powder that came out in 1995.
Interesting.
I'm a big fan of this movie, so when I found this out, this sucked. The first one is good, the second one is alright, and the third one is just a dumpster fire even without the controversy. Sorry if I ruined this movie for you, but I feel like it's important to know.
Just a quick disclaimer on this video, there's going to be a lot of graphic stuff shown. This video is probably going to get taken down, but this needs to be said. They want you to forget about this. That girl's name is Gabriela Rico Jimenez, and she started shouting this after she attended an elite modeling party in Monterey. She was arrested that night and hasn't been seen since. She disappeared. Poof, gone. Or you probably never heard about Savannah Guthrie, who interviewed 6 Epstein victims in 2019, and about a day after all the Epstein files got dumped on January 31st, her mom was abducted from her home and she hasn't been seen since. They want you to forget how the Epstein files dumped 6 months ago showed us how the world is ran by satanic elites who engage in rape, essay of minors, cannibalism, mutilation of infants, unaliving, this word, describing children using code names like pizza and
In the movie that he's talking about.
dogs, and so much more degenerate, awful stuff. Oh, and most importantly, how they worship Israel and follow the Babylonian Talmud. Do you think it's any coincidence that Epstein, in his office, had the whole Talmud behind him and he had a bank account named Baal? Which, if you don't know, is either a human sacrifice demon or just another name for Satan. The Talmud was put on trial in the 13th century by 2 canonized saints, Pope Gregory IX and King Louis IX, because a Jewish convert to the faith named Nicholas Donin showed how the Talmud reveals Jesus as a sorcerer, that he's burning in excrement in hell right now, that Mary is an adulteress and Jesus is a bastard child, along with many other things. But this is why they burned 24 wagon loads of the Talmud after the trial, because of how demonic this book is. And Epstein had it in his office. This is why they repeatedly use the slur goyim to describe us, that we're born to serve Israel and that we're in a lower class below them. And how most definitely he was a Mossad agent, and his partner in crime, Ghislaine Maxwell, her father was a Mossad agent too and was probably unalive by them in 1991. Not to mention how the world's top elites were caught in the Bohemian Grove sacrificing fake or even possibly real babies to Molech. Or how one of the pioneers of hardcore pornography, Al Goldstein, said that the point of pornography is to defile Christian culture. And
This is a pretty graphic description of the movie that he's talking about.
lastly, one of the worst Epstein files, this. No one has been charged since the release of these files 6 months ago, and no one's talking about it. By the way, most of these files are from like 10 years ago, and they're becoming mainstream now. You think that what I'm showing you is something that they don't want us to see? So I'm not showing this just to scare people, but to show how the world is run by satanic elites who hate Jesus and who hate Christianity. Why do you think they never go after adults or the elderly people? They always go after teenagers, children, and infants. I'll tell you why. It's because Jesus said to enter heaven you must be like a child, and that whoever leads these little ones astray, it's better for them to have a millstone tied around their neck and thrown into the sea. So they mutilate and denigrate the pure and the innocent because they know it wounds the heart of the Father the most. This is why all of their hatred and evil is centered around Satan and demons. And they aren't atheists. They understand that God is one, that Christ is true, and that there is a soul. But they know they've lost and that Christ is risen. So because they know they've lost and that Christ is coming back again, they're going to do the most vile and heinous things while they still have time on earth. And they're going to try to bring as many people as they can to hell with them. This video is already running long and I got to keep it under 3 minutes. So here's the St. Michael prayer. All of us pray this so that we would be delivered from the evil of this world. God bless you. Glory be to Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but in my opinion, praying to saints is idol worship. That's no entity. That looks like Justin Trudeau.
All right, let me read this. How you doing, by the way?
Oh, I'm fine.
Let me take my glasses off just to see if you look the way everybody says you look.
Steve. On everything I love, Stevie Wonder does FaceTime me. I can't make this shit up. I went boop, and he was like, I've been looking for you.
It was 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Why did this guy beat all 3 of us, whipped our ass in air hockey? I said, I don't care what you say. You can see.
Right. Oh, man, this Stevie Wonder. He comes in, says, what's up, Shaq? Presses the button. Oh, it's true story. Presses the button, gets up on the floor, buys stuff, goes to his room.
I go over to his house, and he says, I got a record I want you to hear. So he pulls the cassette, and he says, come go with me in the car. And he goes on the driver's side. He said, get it on the passenger side. I get on the passenger side. He cranks the car up. He puts it in reverse and starts down the driveway. I said, Stevie! He goes, I got you.
Stevie flew me to Tobago one time for a jazz festival that he was producing. I'm on stage with Chris Tucker and Johnny Gill. Chris Tucker and I are Johnny Gill's background dancers. Stevie walks on stage, walks to me, looks me dead in my eye and says, Anthony, get me to a piano. I was like, Stevie, well, hell, if you just walked to me, you could have walked to the piano.
Do all this in front of Stevie, so don't look. Stevie done some stuff to me. Let me tell you about the time he came up to the radio station when I was on the beat out here. Stevie was supposed to be performing live, doing keyboards, and he was late.
And I just bought this brand new truck called a Lincolnwood a long time ago. I'm on the radio. I get a phone call. It's Stevie Wonder. I say, yo, Stevie, where you at, man? You supposed to be here. Now I'm on 19th floor on Wilshire doing my radio show. I say, Stevie, where you at? He said, I'm here, man. I'm just pulling up. I said, well, you can't drive. He said, oh, yes, I can. Look out the window. This motherfucker was in my new truck with the windows down, and it was moving real slow, and the motherfucker was waving.
You let Stevie Wonder drive your snowmobile.
I didn't own it. I was at the Caribou Ranch in Netherlands, and I was recording. It was thick snow, and Stevie wanted to go out on a snowmobile.
And Stevie went behind the wheel.
Yeah.
By himself.
By himself.
I flew a plane once, well, actually twice.
How'd you go?
I actually landed the plane.
I was just about to mention that, where he catches the microphone.
Jeffrey Epstein had a custom chess set built with figures resembling himself and his victims. So back in 2016, Jeffrey Epstein and a handful of women who have never been identified showed up at a New York City photo shop. At first, it was just the women who showed up to have their pictures taken with this weird 3D photo taking method. But at the end of the process, Jeffrey Epstein himself would visit the studio as well to have his 3D pictures taken. You can see this is one of those images. Was dressed in two different outfits for the two different. And after all the photos were taken, months later, Jeffrey Epstein commissioned a chessboard to be built, featuring himself, a number of other men who have never been publicly identified. You can see here are more of the pieces here. But eerily, this chess set also featured allegedly survivors/victims of his, along with potentially co-conspirators of his who may have helped him run his trafficking empire. Now, I've talked a lot about this chess set before in previous videos, but I've never actually seen images this close of the figurines themselves. You can see that woman in the top left is wearing a crown of some sort. Maybe the one on the right could be Ghislaine. Either way, this is one of the creepiest things that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, these are highly detailed chess pieces. I don't even know if you could really call them chess pieces. They're really just figurines depicting Epstein's victims/survivors and his co-conspirators. And I mean, there's just something so off-putting about all of this. Jeffrey Epstein literally turned his survivors, victims, and co-conspirators into pieces of a game. Pieces of a game that he would display prominently in his house. You can see the chessboard in multiple photos that were discovered taken inside of the New York City townhouse that he lived in. And I mean, there's just so much coded messaging here. Epstein really did view himself as some sort of an untouchable king. This is literally how he saw himself in his mind, as an untouchable force. And he wanted people to know this, that he was the king, he was the master, so he had them turned into chess pieces so that he could play with them and their bodies like some sort of sick, twisted game. I mean, I've talked about how analyzing Epstein's artwork provides an excellent window into his mind for months now on my different channels, and there's so much to be analyzed here. There's so much that you could talk about. But the fact that he did this, I mean, just speaks volumes. And it's so unbelievably eerie to take a look at all this stuff and to see the detail on these figurines. I didn't know that they were this detailed. I mean, they're like little dolls, little statues. And Epstein really had this out in his main living room right when you walk into his New York City house. This was one of the first things that you would see laying out on a table. And to me, that is sending a message to anyone that enters the home that I am the king, you are all just pawns in my game. I'm going to keep talking about this, though, so follow along for more updates.
Look at this shit.
Do you kids know this man? No. No? Leave him alone.
He just...
Yeah, but leave him alone.
He just said...
I'm going to be parked right there. I'm going to see you.
He said,
he said
to them, do you want to take a selfie?
No, they don't want to take a selfie. Go away. Leave him alone.
We don't.
Thank God for those women. You know, I tell people all the time, start a neighborhood watch. Make a close circle of friends or neighbors or people in the area and just patrol the area. every single day. If you know there's migrants around, patrol the area. Keep your children and your women safe. These dirty fat nonces are everywhere, and at the first sign, the first sniff of an opportunity to take the innocence away from a child or a woman walking alone on the street, they will take it. They're like a shark. They can smell blood in the water. These people are disgusting. They're animals. They're cockroaches. They're rats. They're the worst kind of people you can possibly imagine.
They have to be if they're villains in a movie.
What grown-ass man goes up to a group of 12 children or more who look about 11, 12, 10 maybe, 9, and asks for a selfie? What the fun a selfie for? I'll tell you what he wants a selfie for. He wants to take it home and play with himself while looking at the pictures of the kids. This is the ideology plaguing our country, our continent, our planet. These people came straight from the bottomless pit of hell. These people are predators. They're starved parasites. And we need to get them out of this country as quickly as possible. Our children's future depends so much on the actions that me and you and everybody else decide to take today. Stop fighting the far-right thugs, Nazis, bigots. These people are just trying to protect you. They're trying to protect your children, your country, your culture, your religion, your ideology. Start fighting the real enemy, the rapists, the murderers, the unvetted illegal criminals that come to this country to cause havoc. They're not here to assimilate. They're here to get rid of you. Get that through your thick skull.
Taylor and Travis, it's Dolly, and I was just told that you two are making a donation of $2 million to my Imagination Library. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm blown away and overjoyed with that gratitude. Now, it's evident that you two have made giving back a key part of your lives, so, hey, when you have your firstborn, can I have it? Because that is going to be one special baby. You know, the mission of the Dollywood Foundation is to dream more, care more, learn more, and be more. And thank you again for your very generous gift. And we'll continue that mission, even in bigger ways now with your money. So thank you, and know that I will always love you.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you this right now, folks. That was a very, very serious statement she just said, having their firstborn. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are probably the two biggest sellouts in Hollywood, and there's a price to pay for that, and Dolly wants it.
So apparently, this gentleman has showed up to two separate people's houses and done what he's doing in these videos. It's absolutely horrifying. In the first video, he pulls into a gentleman's driveway. Mind you, his driveway is over 1 kilometer long. So it's a really long driveway out in the middle of nowhere. This gentleman pulls in and starts making those weird, horrific faces. He sits there for about 15 minutes doing that and then leaves. Well, this young lady in a town nearby had this creepy video take place. While she was working on her computer, this gentleman walked up behind her and did the same type of faces. They're not sure. They think it could be the same guy. Most likely it is. What do y'all think about it though? Freaky stuff.
Yeah, that's creepy. Like, really creepy.
CERN has apparently closed down, but who actually owns CERN, and what horrific stuff does CERN actually do? By the end of this video, you'll know the answers to these questions, and it's more horrific than most people can imagine. In Never Give Up Part 2, ex-Jesuit coadjutor Svalli explains how, while the public knows CERN as a simple physics laboratory in Switzerland, it actually consists of many hidden underground levels dedicated to dark, transhuman genetic research led by Jesuit fathers. The fact that CERN is Jesuit-owned should not be too surprising if one knows the historical connections between Switzerland, the Knights of Malta, and the Jesuits. Anyway, to ensure that the secrets of CERN never reach the surface, these Jesuit-led workers are subjected to intense mind control and are and replaced every 6 months to preserve absolute secrecy. The underground facility extends for miles and connects to a vast network of tunnels which open into small, isolated villages strictly guarded by the Knights of Malta and Opus Dei, whose agents are trained to use lethal force and create, quote, accidents to eliminate anyone who comes too close to discovering the entrances. According to Svalli, the Jesuit-led transhuman experiments within CERN include creating human-animal chimeras through which the Jesuits actively combine human DNA with the DNA of various animals. The ultimate goal of this research is to create a, quote, super soldier capable of inhuman speed and strength. They also attempt to engineer spiritual traits into the DNA, such as psychic ability, sensitivity to spiritual realms, and an aptitude for traveling different dimensions. This research is used to engineer the next generation of Jesuit babies back in Rome, aiming to produce, quote, better soldiers of Satan. CERN also engineers genetically modified specifically ordered by wealthy members of various occult societies. Common requests include covered entirely in fur, possessing both male and female, or having undergone specific training upon delivery. These cost several $1 million each and are implanted with a fail-safe device that releases poison to kill them by the time they are 2.5 years old, ensuring they do not live long enough to become a liability. The atmosphere in the underground labs is described as a literal hell, filled with the constant eerie wailing, screaming, and grunting of the human-animal chimeras. To force their compliance and ensure they can return to their normal lives without being destroyed by the memories of what they have done, the Jesuits subject the CERN workers to extensive amnesia programming to wipe their memories of the facility completely once their rotations end. To learn more about the Jesuits and their plan for the New World Order, comment truth for my new book.
You know what I think? I think Taylor Swift is the devil. Now hear me out. Now, just over the weekend, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift just got married. And they got married at Madison Square Garden, which was officiated by Adam Sandler, who also plays the character Billy Madison and has his production company, Happy Madison. So it already starts off feeling like a ritual. But that's not the weird part. See, a lot of these stars that they put in front of us are, I think, one of two types of people. You have the clones of historical figures or people that they need to carry on their mission, so they have the proper genes that they're looking for. Then you have the stars that are sons or daughters of parents who are in the military-industrial complex. Navy, Army, Marines, but essentially it's a psyop. And the kids sometimes undergo a MK Ultra or Project Monarch style of mind control, and they're easier to control. And this is where you get conservatorships. Free Britney. But Taylor Swift, I think, is of the former. Do you know who Taylor Swift eerily looks very similar to? Zena Shirk. And the name doesn't sound familiar because her true name is Zena LaVey, who is the daughter of Anton LaVey, who is the father of LaVeyan Satanism. LaVey passed away in 1997, which was the same year that they announced that they had successfully cloned Dolly the sheep. Cloning is a whole other rabbit hole, and I will be doing a breakdown on that this week, so make sure to subscribe to my YouTube. But it doesn't stop with Anton. Taylor uses a lot of satanic undertones in her music that people don't really notice. The snake that she's commonly referred in the same sentence as, And here's a music video of a human hunting party from her music video Out of the Woods.
Got the thinking, are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods? Oh.
Something's not right with the Swifties. But if you didn't know, at least Ace knows. Like this video, drop a follow, subscribe to my YouTube where I'll give a breakdown, and I'll see you in the next one.
Many people are suspicious of Candace Owens' husband, George Farmer. The first being the weird circumstances surrounding their engagement after not knowing each other for very long. George Farmer says there was nothing romantic at all, while Candace Owens says it was love at first sight. But that's not the only thing suspicious about George Farmer or his marriage to Candace Owens. It all starts with the Bullingdon Club, an elitist secret society within Oxford University, a private all-male dining club known for its wealthy members, grand banquets, and bad behavior. Member selection is based off of wealth, as well as the willingness to participate in initiation. The most notorious member of the Bullingdon Club is Jeffrey Epstein. His initiation into this club ushered him into British elitist society. Epstein's connections begin at this point, including meeting Ghislaine Maxwell, and later on Prince Andrew. But there is another British elitist connection that Jeffrey Epstein made, and his name is John Mappin, a jeweler to the royal family. John Mappin openly gives himself credit for introducing Candace Owens to George Farmer, this being the fateful night that George and Candace met at their first engagement in the United Kingdom. John Mappin was found as a contact in Epstein's little black book, and a voicemail that he left Jeffrey Epstein was found in the Epstein files regarding a quote-unquote babysitting ring.
My name's I'm calling from London, UK, and I've been put through to your number, sir, by the switchboard and another person. Is it possible, if you can, to give me a call back? It's about an entry in Jeffrey Epstein's contact book, the 97-page one, a chap called John Mappin. I deal with whistleblowers and charities over here for a number of years. I've been following this very closely, have been heavily involved. I'm not a police officer. Basically, this man has been identified back in 1989 to a police operation here in the Met called Operation Orchid. If it is the same John Mappin, if you want to give me a ring back, my UK mobile number is the Met didn't act on it, like they didn't act on a lot of things regarding it. Specifically involves a ring called the baby sitting ring. I'll let you draw your own conclusions to that. It's pretty horrific, the detail I've been given by the retired charity worker who had meetings at New Scotland Yard, unreceptive meetings to the details they were giving. Thanks very much. It's UK time. I'm in mid-afternoon.
John Mappin takes such credit for introducing George to Candace that he has it pinned to his X account. Candace has said before she felt an overwhelming urge to go to the United Kingdom that she didn't understand. Took Charlie's credit card and booked them flights to the United Kingdom, which always sounded like a suspicious story to me. Candace Owens ends up leaving the United Kingdom after this trip, forging an alliance with an Epstein class in the United Kingdom with Turning Point, and she also leaves with an arranged marriage with George Farmer. John Mappin obsessively supports Candace every day on X. He agrees with every conspiracy she's come up with so far. He also says that he has seen the ghost of Charlie Kirk. So why did John Mappin introduce George Farmer to Candace Owens? And it's because George Farmer is a British elitist. George was granted membership to the Bullingdon Club because his father paid for it, which of course is the typical way to get in. By the time George Farmer makes it to his senior year in Oxford University, George was the president of the Bullingdon Club, as he's the son of a British lord, which not only gives him connection, but also gave him the title the Honorable George Farmer. Jeffrey Epstein and George Farmer were both part of the Bullingdon Club. John Mappin was in Epstein's little black book and has been discovered in the Epstein files. John Mappin introduces George Farmer to Candace Owens, taking credit for initiating their relationship. George Farmer proposes to Candace Owens over FaceTime after nothing romantic passes between them. People theorize that George Farmer is actually Candace Owens' handler, but it seems that there is an ecosystem where John Mappin is behind George Farmer and Jeffrey Epstein was behind John Mappin.
News you can use. First of all, we got an angel, so say. That beautiful skin look like an angel to me. Then Argentina proving how racist they really is. shouting the N-word to Speed while he was live on stream and telling him he should go home. Weirdos. Broke people problems is racism. My broke ass ain't got enough time for it. The CERN meeting on shutting down the Collider had to be probably weird as them starting the Collider. If y'all ever seen that shit. But this some satanic shit if y'all don't know. The little noise, the dance she doing, everything. And then a couple had an argument on 4th of July.
Because they want to see what's going on with these individuals.
The girl wound up
So when they got there,
being part of a
discovered
missing
the first
persons
word
case.
burnout
It's
from a
been
previous
15
fire.
years long.
So when they went inside, in
They
the
go
basement,
inside
they
the
found what
house.
they believe to be a meth lab. So right there,
They
have
think
the
they
tapes.
find a meth
Different
lab.
precautions. That's why the
It's
bomb
a
squad
human-
was brought in. That's why special
What they
units
call
were
it,
put in to make
liquidation
sure the
lab.
place was safe. While they were doing that, they found a bunch of information, IDs, a ledger, all kinds of stuff pointing to a bunch of missing people. So
They have not disclosed the information of the male or the female that has been missing at this time. It's just happening in Philly. This was 4th of July. Side of the world, Russia just smacked Kyiv's industrial area with a big ass. And Brazil ain't taking that ill too well to Turkey. That shit just ain't sitting right with them. It don't sit right with me either. Then we go to Colombia. They going at it right now. The National Liberation Army and Revolutionary Armed Forces is going at it with Colombia over some shit. You never know. Probably drug war. Patriot Front is going to be labeled as a terrorist group. No, I don't think they terrorists, but hey, because under Biden's administration, they was never investigated. And Klaus Schwab, the most sadistic person in the world, has found a criminal complaint to Geneva, Switzerland, saying he found a listening device in his home office. He should have found a bomb in his shit. Boom, bitch ass. Trump is looking to file a restraining order on this crazy ass lady that keep approaching him. He said she won't leave him alone. It is said approximately 10 million people flooded Tehran for Anatoly's funeral, even though some sources say that might be an AI video because not too many people liked him, from what it said. And on the completely other side of the world, mysterious space ball washed up on the beach of Australia. The Australian Space Agency has made 160 feet or something inclusion zone from around the balls because they don't know where they is. But they said they came from a rocket or something. I don't know. This must be rocket nuts. Rocket nuts dropping. YouTube link is in the IG bio. We at 94 subscribers, little beep.
Y'all seeing exactly what I'm seeing, people. That is a horse flying right there, bro. We have to talk about this right now. We're going to watch it one more time. One more time. Look at that, bro. What's fake about that, man? We got to talk about it. First off, my name French Dose, man. I do this for educational and entertainment purposes only. We have witnessed. I done seen it all. I done seen it all, bro. A damn horse with wings flying in the sky.
I don't know. To me, it looks like AI.
Out here in India somewhere. I'm not sure where this is at. Alright? Now the AI detectives is going to get real mad at this one. And hey, this might be AI. But I don't know. I'm 50-50 with it. I need y'all to tell me what is going on here, bro.
I think, like, at the beginning of the clip, when the horse is up close, it looks a little more realistic, but when it's flying in the sky and kind of further away, like, it's too clear and the white on it's too bright to be real.
I need y'all to put it in the comment section right now and tell me what y'all think about this damn video. Because if that's real, it's almost over, friends. Get right with God now.
Then why are you in my country?
Why am I in your country?
Yeah, do I need to call ICE? Not right.
What are you talking about?
You're not.
What?
Are you?
I don't understand your line of questioning here. I'm not doing anything to do with politics.
Oh, okay. Then why are you in my country?
Got those crazy demon eyes.
Yeah, do I need to call ICE?
What is your problem, lady?
I mean, look at her eyes, bro. She's definitely on something.
You're recording me.
What kind of are you on?
I breathe oxygen. I read the Bible when I have access to it.
And this is how the Bible makes you behave? Is to make
I have
crazy
free will.
accusations to
And
people?
I have the First Amendment.
Yeah, well, that you have, but that's just you're acting psychotic.
Maybe the demonic, satanic Bible.
Oh, I know I am. Unlike you, is blocking the entrance for this person to get in here to their appointment. Are you that entitled that you don't think they deserve to get in here?
I'm a child of God.
No, you're not. You're a spitting image of the damn devil.
Bro, what is wrong? And she's honking at him. What the hell is wrong with this lady, bro?
Did we just catch Bill Gates dumping hundreds of chickens at his landfill?
Why are some of them alive?
Oh, they smell so bad.
Shocking and disturbing video spreading online.
Horrible.
You can see a truck dumping hundreds of chickens in a landfill, and some of them walking around.
I don't see how anybody could think that was the proper way to do something.
We started asking questions, beginning with the Ohio Department of Agriculture. The agency says it's aware of the videos and investigating. Officials tell ABC6 some of the birds were not euthanized before they were transported and disposed of. The state says it has ordered retraining for workers on proper euthanasia, loading, and disposal procedures.
Now, here's a shocking coincidence the media didn't report. The landfill belongs to Republic Services, and Cascade Investment owns 35.5% of the company. But when you dig deeper, you'll find that Cascade Investment is controlled by none other than Bill Gates. You know, the same guy who's invested in alternative food technologies.
About 50% of the time when I have a burger, it's one that's made with these Impossible Foods or Beyond Meat.
Doubtful.
Beyond Beef. And those have essentially no greenhouse gas emissions. As they improve their products, and they're quite good. I really highly recommend that people try those.
There's real concern here.
Wow.
So where is this all happening?
Wow.
This is at
Yeah, look at the
235
damage.
East 42nd Street. That's between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. A 911 call came in at about 7:57 this morning. Reports of bricks falling from that building. Firefighters then determined that 2 columns buckled on the 21st floor, and that's when we got that video in. The live look that you're seeing is the bottom right corner of your screen. That's where Roy, our photographer, is this morning. Roy, I think you can hear me. You can sort of nod the camera if you can hear us talking to you from back here in the newsroom. But we do know that.
What's up, buddy? What's going on?
I love deer. They're kind of like big dogs.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
All right, here's part 2 of our spray-on disposable gloves.
What?
This is not our sports glove. All right, this is going into the disposable glove market. Initially, we'll be going into the food space, so food manufacturing, fast casual restaurants like Chipotle's. A lot of people ask, like, why is this glove better? Okay, so we have incorporated moisture wicking technology where it soaks up the sweat. You can wash the glove up to 10 times with water and soap, and has antimicrobials. So this is a better quality glove.
That's crazy.
Latex and nitrile gloves. Here we added some powder to the top layer to show you guys that there is a layer on the hand. The glove is breathable. It acts as a membrane, meaning vapor can escape and water or any liquids or pathogens cannot enter the glove. The best example is a balloon, right? You blow it up with oxygen, you tighten it, and over time, the oxygen escapes without having any pinholes. Here is the removal process. Guys, yes, it is not removing in one layer right now. We were just testing how well it sprays and how quickly it cures and how easily it removes from hairs. Market ready, you will be able to peel it off in one layer by yourself with no help.
That's
Don't
cool.
worry, we have blockers that are in the formulation, and the UV LED lights that we're using are safe. So there you have it. Spray on gloves.
Why did they hijack Flight 11 on September 11th? The Twin Towers are an 11. New York is the 11th state. There were 11 crew members on the flight. 911 adds up to 11. Pillars are an 11 with the black and white checkered floor. Black and white add up to 11. Black is matter, white is spirit. Is this some kind of ritual or just a coincidence? At first, I thought coincidence, but then I started noticing how often some symbols repeat. The Roman numerals for 911 look like pillars. Saturn's code is 911. Another symbol for Saturn is the black cube, a symbol of death, dullness, coldness, and darkness. That's why the 911 memorial uses the black cube. We live in a world surrounded by black cubes, not just in buildings, but in how we think. That's when the phrase "think outside the box" stops sounding metaphorical. Because the trap isn't physical, it's perceptual. I didn't realize how long my mind had been inside it until something shifted. Not my beliefs, my awareness. And that didn't happen from being told what to think. It happened when I encountered material that showed patterns instead of conclusions. That's what the Book of Wisdom did for me. It didn't tell me what to believe, but it started me to see the hidden structures of the world. What I'm telling you now is just the tip of the iceberg in this book. In this video, I can't tell you the full story because it's also connected to so much more. Everything we've ever seen in signs, symbols, colors, even our bodies, are connected in ways you've never learned. And once you sense that pressure, that quiet feeling that something's off, you don't need convincing, you need the missing pieces. Think outside the box you didn't know you were in.
Oh, this might get interesting.
So of course I had to find some proof of these cameras doing more than just reading some license plates. So check it out. Here's a guy walking down the street and he catches his camera taking pictures of him with no cars around, just tracking him and his face as he's walking down the street. And these are next to your splash pads, your schools, your parks, places where you and your family just rest. This is getting out of hand.
They're not tracking just cars. I'm going to show you. See how it's starting to flash right there when I'm walking towards it? They're taking pictures of faces because there's not a car in sight. And if I'm not moving, watch what it does. Watch what it does when I'm not moving.
Yeah, that's not good.
So watch what happens when I start. Oh, there it goes. I started moving. It's tracking. So there's no car in sight. There's nothing in sight.
Now listen as this guy explains the different types and their capabilities. Some of these things have microphones on them that listen for key words, and they're not even just, it has nothing to do with just license plate scanners. The capabilities of these cameras we will probably never know fully.
This particular device does not have a camera in it. It has a very sensitive microphone connected to AI. It listens for, quote, sounds of distress. The only way it can detect sounds of distress is if it's always listening. And then what is the threshold for a sound of distress is a matter of policy. When the news segment aired, they showed me sharing my concerns about how this technology is going to be used.
It's too hot out here.
Okay, go.
Do this opera thing.
That's pretty cool.
What
The Book of Enoch mentions a secret meeting with the fallen angels on Mount Hermon. A lot of people don't realize that the Book of Enoch is taken seriously by the elite because the United Nations has a literal base on Mount Hermon.
Yeah.
So like
crazy.
when you're looking at these books, like the Book of Enoch, this isn't fiction. They're detailing real locations that the government is involved in capturing. I remember reading this passage in the Book of Enoch, and this is what really changed my walk forever. There was a secret meeting with the fallen angels, and they created a pact. This pact, by the way, it's a real artifact that was recovered. In this pact, they wrote on a tablet, because they were going to suffer eternally, they made an agreement that they were going to work as hard as possible to take as many humans to hell with them. And when I read that, something shifted in my brain. I realized, like, this isn't a joke. There is a literal war against us as humans, and there are angelic beings with a lot of knowledge who are a lot smarter than us. Their greatest desire and their greatest unification is to take us to hell with them. When I read that, my faith changed.
Homeboy, there is no woman on planet Earth that exudes more negative energy than this evil bitch right here, Jada Pinkett Smith. She hates her husband and is doing everything in her power to destroy his life. Like, just watch as Will interacts with the fans, right? She's not happy because she should be the famous one. She just downright miserable. And yes, I know the Chris Rock slap, but Will did that because she scowled. He had to be gangster and step up and represent his wife. And why did he have to be gangster? Because he knows his wife loves gangster. She want a real G. Her true love was Tupac. So she went from one of the most gangster dudes in rap.
If you look at the back part of Tupac's jaw around here, notice how it goes straight and then it kind of comes down a bit. That's a good sign of a jaw implant. I've noticed that with a lot of celebrities.
To the absolute cleanest dude in rap. That sounds like she settled to me.
He proposed to you while he was in jail.
When he asked me to get married,
In case you're unaware, it gives the look of a more masculine jaw.
he was at Rikers. And I knew at that time, he needed somebody to do time with him, which I was going to do anyway. He didn't have to marry.
Kind of like that.
Right? I'm here. But he needed a rock.
This woman dragged her A-list actor husband on her bullshit Red Table Talk show to embarrass him in front of the world. But that wasn't enough. She had him crying. Okay, but that wasn't enough. You know, she also had to have with her son's friend, August Alsina, which she called an entanglement. It wasn't a relationship. It was an entanglement. What the You know what I mean? And Will, you're not without blame, okay? Because you take this shit. Be off, man. Take the pain, but sometimes you got to walk away, dude. The whole world looking at you and laughing. And there's a lot of people who don't want to see her movies because of what happened with Chris Rock. But I know from people who know you that you're a genuinely nice guy. Leave this woman and let us forgive you and come back in, man. The world wants to be your fan because you're nice. But this evil bitch, she holding you back. And let me tell you something, Jada used to be fine back in the day. Dudes used to love her. But whenever I want a bowel movement, I just play something with Jada Pinkett in it and I just flow. Anyway, Fallen Spade, trying to get canceled. We're getting closer every day.
Hey, I'm Brandy, and whenever I'm in Mississippi, I'm kicking it with Kixie 107. Peace.
They got her. They got her.
Wow.
What in the world happened to Brandy? Who the heck are you, lady? This isn't the Brandy that I remember. You go to her IG and you're seeing images like this or this, and she literally looks ageless. But now, this is what we're seeing. What is going on with celebrities around the mouth, around the eyes, the cheekbones? I am seeing tons of them in Hollywood. There's Sharon and Kelly Osbourne. There's Ariana Grande. There's Anna Faris. There's Olivia Wilde. Something is going on. You'll see edited photos from this event where she looks similar to her post on IG, but that is not what we're seeing in real life.
People often ask where I found my voice. But before I found my voice, I found love. And so much of that love lived right here.
There is something about this speech that feels completely off. Not only that, but she is almost completely unrecognizable. And again, it's like overnight. One day they're looking like this. And then next they're looking like this. Same with Olivia Wilde. What is going on?
This pissed me off. I suspect it'll piss you off as well, but I also think we can do something about it. So this is Pedro of Pedro's Ice Cream. That's his Instagram. He's in Long Beach, California, and he has an ice cream cart on a bicycle, and he rides around selling ice cream. He also happens to be deaf. This is how he makes a living, selling ice cream and treats from his cart. Obviously, as a street vendor, he deals with stuff, people stealing things, messing with them, etc. But on July 4th, he had a woman in a Mercedes hit his bicycle and destroy it.
Excuse me.
What a bitch. What, you're just gonna drive away?
For context, he said this happened at the corner of East Shoreline Drive and Shoreline Village Drive at 5:30 on July 4th. He said he raised up his hand to tell the driver to stop. The driver, a black woman driving a tan Mercedes-Benz, continued driving, tried to hit my ice cream cart, struck damage my cart. He's been unable to sell ice cream since because the cart's been out of commission. And here's the thing, like that car has temp tags. She totally wrecks the side of this car. That scrape was not there before she dragged his bike along it and totally wrecked his bike. And people tried to intervene, tried to get her attention and talk to her, and she was like oblivious or out of it or drunk. I don't know what's going on. Unfortunately, he did not get a shot of her. Like, this is the closest you come to seeing her. He just said it was a black woman, and we only see that. But we do have her temp tag, which expired June 27th. This is July 4th. So she's already driving around on plates that aren't valid. And some things going on here. So I'd love to find out who she is. But also, we can help Pedro out. This is Instagram. You can go to his Instagram. He has a link tree there. In his link tree, he has his number for his Zelle, which you can just enter here. Or you can go, he also has Venmo. And he's asking for anyone's help. In the comment section, people are like, Pedro's great. Pedro's amazing. I've gotten stuff from him. He's the best. He's wonderful. So this is pretty devastating for him, and it's ridiculous that this happened. So if you feel like giving something, he said every little bit helps, and that's always true. So I think we could probably get his bike fixed or get it replaced so that he can get back out there. And hopefully we can find that woman so she can be held accountable.
Hopefully. And walk into my home recently, and it touched my arm, and it whispered into my ear, it burned my arm. I woke up as the middle of the night, and it touched my arm. I have a Proverbs 4:23 tattoo here, and it whispered in my ear. It said, "Your heart is mine. It's always been mine." Okay. And then it runs out of our home down the hallway. But okay. So again, intimacy with God. Father, why is it here? Do you want me to engage in this? Honestly, guys, sometimes he'll go, no, don't engage in it. Command it, angels. Send angels. They'll take care of it. You rest. Okay, but this one specifically, his posture, he was mad at what this thing had done. Okay, and so, Dad, do you want me to deal with this? Yep. Is this war or is this me? It's war. Okay, I like war. I like this category. Man, probably to a fault, I like this category. Okay, Dad, what do we do? He said, call upon its annihilation. And he said, I am so tired. And it's specifically what they said about my heart.
Yeah.
Because that's his home.
Yeah.
Not theirs.
Yeah.
And it's right. So I'm still learning from this one, but Dad was not happy about that one, which caused that entity's life.
A demo today with this Cessna and the Air National Guard. I'm going to be inside of this Cessna, and we're going to be going rogue. We're going to fly into that no-fly zone, and we're going to see how the Air National Guard does it. They scramble the fighter jets to come. Take off. We're off. Flying for miles and miles until... Okay, we've just entered the no-fly zone now. Our pilots aren't talking to air traffic control, ignoring their calls to reach them. That triggers an alarm at the Air National Guard base. These fighter pilots scrambling to their jets. They're on alert and ready to take action 24 hours a day. Today, racing to their F-16s, suiting up, climbing on board, and rushing to the runway. Taking off to intercept our rogue Cessna. Reaching the target in just minutes. This is the view from the F-16. That's my Cessna right there.
Intimidating as you would think it would be. Look at that fighter jet. He's right off our wing.
Another F-16 swooping in on the right, calling us on aviation frequencies.
If you hear this transmission, answer the radio call and rock your wing. He wants us to identify ourselves. We're a rogue aircraft, remember, for this demonstration, so we're not going to respond at all and see what this fighter does.
Ordered to turn to the northwest.
Notice how he said, for this demonstration, we are a rogue aircraft, therefore, and also too, like you could see they had the cameras and everything set up to show the pilots like running to get in their jets and whatever, so it's obviously all staged, but I don't know what the point of all this is then. Just to probably discourage people from going.
The fighter jet giving us one last warning. After all of this, the pilot still won't listen. The plane won't leave the airspace. Will you shoot them down?
If required, we'll execute the rules of engagement per the commander of the North American Aerospace Defense Command. And yes, we would do that.
Shoot the plane down?
If it meets the rules of engagement, yes, we would, to defend the airspace.
Entering restricted airspace. You are ordered to turn west immediately. If you do not follow these instructions, you may be fired upon.
Just in case you're not awake yet, the reason these government agencies have the flat earth in their logo is because they know where we live. And they get paid to protect that edge if you ever try to go there.
Bro, did y'all hear
this? Tallahassee, Florida, Lake Jackson, gone. Lake's disappeared.
Tallahassee.
Is it global warming? No. Is it drought? No. Is it anything? No. A sinkhole opened in the middle of the lake.
Damn.
And drained all the water, all the fish,
gone.
Everything.
Drained.
The lake's just gone. It just drank the lake, this sinkhole. The whole lake has completely disappeared.
Oh my God.
Now, what causes a sinkhole beneath a lake? I don't know. Unless there's mining going on, we've all seen that happen before. Town got sucked down a sinkhole and a lake.
I'm not saying that there's a data center coming to Tallahassee, Florida, because the way that water drained out of that lake was crazy. 12 billion gallons, y'all. And then I come across this. City Commission fails to pass year moratorium on data centers after 3-2 vote. This is Tallahassee, Florida. Now, I'm not saying these people are inside of the earth doing something crazy, but you can never put it past them. Look at this. Now, I've been told you that The Simpsons let us know a long time ago that water was going to become a luxury in our reality. And now look at where we're at.
Holy shit.
Damn.
I even had to blur some of this out. This is in Venezuela. So, yeah, these firefighters were trying to save some people out of a collapsing building, and then it collapsed. It's crazy because you don't really see the news talking about it, but as of yesterday, the official death toll has risen to nearly 3,000 people killed in Venezuela right now because of the earthquakes. And nearly 12,000 people have been injured, and it's said that the death toll could reach up to 10,000 people. Like, this is serious stuff. Like, Venezuela has been going through the works, obviously, since the start of this year, and it's not getting any better. Honestly, though, I feel like this has got absolutely nothing to do with CERN shutting down for 4 years till 2030, right? I mean, since CERN shut down, we've had devastating floods in China, huge super tornadoes ripping through cities, flash floods all over America, powerful typhoons, major earthquakes, volcanoes erupting, record-breaking heat waves. Nothing to see here. But hey ho, you know, it's not like there's some sort of big agenda that's trying to completely reshape society and humanity over the next few years or anything, is it? It's not like we're watching complete wars, death, destruction, famine, economic chaos, digital systems, AI, extreme weathers, world changes all happening at the same time. This was probably just a coincidence once again, and as always, this video is just for entertainment purposes, beautiful people. Now I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
If you want to know what degree your father or grandfather was in the lodge, ask the question of what is the predominant illness in your family.
Wow. So just to be clear for anyone watching and for myself, because of the man in the family, the grandfather, the uncle, or the brother that joined a lodge, and because of the rituals that they're doing to become a master mason or a fellow craft mason, whatever it is up the ladder, what actually happens on the bloodline and the family is that the women specifically, it seems as well, they go through a life of problems. So like bulimia, it could suicidal tendencies, it could be anorexia, or it could be anger issues, and it's not something that's their own tendency. It's actually something that's been placed on them because of that man in the family. And this is what's been the most valuable and powerful information for all of us to realize, because people are suffering so deeply and thinking it's because of the causes that they've made in their life, when in fact it was because of someone in their bloodline which has obviously tried to do one over on society, and now they're the ones suffering, and they're the ones I'm really trying to reach out to.
Was to explain to the wives and daughters of Masons why there are curses in their families.
Illnesses then would be like the other levels, like the 4th, the 5th, the 6th. I mean, have you got any examples of that?
Third degree, I've noticed mental torments. You get a lot of mental issues with them. Because of the blow to the head through the ritual murder as a Master Mason or third degree, she counsels a lot of women or girls with anorexia and bulimia. And she said she's worked it out that it's a Masonic curse.
Hey, get your hands off of her! Get the away from me! I have my daughter! You get the away from me! Get in the car! Get her out of here. Right now.
I love you, Dad.
I love you, bub. Is that you? I need you to hear me. I am sorry that I scared you.
You didn't scare me, he scared me. I'm proud of you.
Do you want to stay with me, or do you want to stay with...
Can I go with Dad? Absolutely.
That guy needs a shout out, and also that's how every man in the United States should be acting right now, with all this masculinity and using his Second Amendment right, which is literally the second thing we wrote down in the Constitution. He defended somebody and he protected his daughter. That's what's up. Shout out to this guy. This is awesome. Everybody else should be acting the same way. Train to be dangerous, stay dangerous, and as always, have an awesome day.
Yeah, this one is going to keep you up at night. The sun simulator. So there's this theory going around that says the sun isn't the sun anymore. People have been claiming that what we see in the sky is now some kind of artificial light source. And I know this sounds completely insane, but stick with me for a minute because the argument gets weird real fast. A lot of people online started saying that the sun began to shift and started to look different after the total solar eclipse back in April of 2024. They say that it used to look warmer, softer, more golden, but now it looks white and harsh. Shadows feel sharper, the sky looks washed out, and even the heat from the sun feels different. Some people have even said that they've witnessed the sun flicker in and out, kind of like it's an LED in the sky. And then you have videos like this, where someone films the sun and catches what looks like a strange secondary object or some kind of geometric glare that reveals some kind of technological pattern we can't see with the naked eye. Now, most people say that's just lens flare from the camera or some kind of digital artifact, which camera sensors do have that kind of pattern, so that's probably the explanation for a lot of it. But people are asking, what if the weird camera artifacts are accidentally revealing something we're not supposed to see? As it turns out, sun simulators are actually a real thing. They're used in labs to test satellites, spacecraft materials, solar panels, and equipment under artificial sunlight. So the technology exists. Just take a look at this patent from 1966. Doesn't that look a little bit familiar? Now, what if something like this could be scaled up? And I want to know from you out there, what do you think would be the purpose of doing something like that? Officially, the physics on something like this doesn't really check out, so this theory falls apart pretty quick once you actually look into it. As far as I know, we don't have the technology to create something that large, put it into space, and be able to actually replicate the power and brightness of the real sun, while also being able to hide it. We're talking Type 2 civilization on the Kardashev level scale of technology. Unless... Nah, we're not going there.
Oh, she's scared. She's there. She's got like a bag or something around. She's got it. Oh, yeah. She's got it.
Where I'm originally from, I've seen foreigners do this too with pigeons and stuff downtown. Brutal. Usually try and stop them if I can whenever I see it.
1, 2, 3. Oh my god! Oh my
god! Damn, that thing is huge.
100-pound dog, 120-pound dog, 250-pound dog.
Beast.
Hey, Mr. Horse, are you coming to get some? Got her. Come on. How'd she get up there? Oh, that's how. Moose. What are you doing? What do you have? Why do you have my cell phone?
I want a dog so bad.
Drop it. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Okay. I'll be right back. Move your nose.
Can I help you? Ow! Give me my shoe. I know it. That hurts so bad.
That's awesome.
What are you doing?
So big.
Later. It's too hot.
You want to go eat? Come on.
Oh my God. I had offers to sell my soul for riches in the art world. So I crafted my art to such a degree that I was approached by the upper echelon of the art world, and I had 3 offers to sell my soul, which of course I didn't do.
When you say sell your soul, what does that look like in the art world?
Well, in the art world, what it looked like for me is that, you know, I was invited to this party, and I got a phone call before I went to the party by someone who's in the echelon of the art world. And he said, you know, you're going to be offered this offer tonight. Just accept it. You know, it might not be what you would normally do, but just accept it. And I was like, okay, you know, and not like, okay, I'll do it, but like, okay, I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the party, and it was the first offer was with a gay dude. And yeah. And I mean, I'm not gay, but if I was, I wouldn't care. You know, like my mom asked me one time, you know, do you think you're gay? I'm like, you would know it if I was gay, because I would be like a flaming homosexual, because I don't care what any of you people think. Yeah. You know, but I just know I'm not gay. And I just don't like messing with crazy women. And for years in my life, that's all I came in contact with. I didn't, you know, so I just stayed celibate. And she thought, well, maybe he's gay. And it's like, no. So so that was my first offer. The second offer was to have sex with a transvestite, very similar situation that happened a couple of nights later. You know, go to the party. I know you turned down the offer, but just go to this party. There's going to be another offer to be made. I turned down the second offer. And it was literally just like, you know, just let me, you know, give you oral or whatever. And I did.
Oral gel, which is good for toothaches. Got to do it for my friend Albert G. Rhythm.
Do it. And then the third offer was from the guy in the echelon of the community. He said, well, you just tell us that we can be your best friend.
Holy shit.
And
with kindness.
You don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything. You just give us the okay, and money will never be a problem in your life. And,
wow.
And I turned it down. So, and you know, I was very much a pioneer in my art, and I've still not seen anybody replicate what I did.
He's talking about a part he was playing in a movie role, which is all fictional for entertainment purposes.
We'll throw up some images of your artwork. I didn't know you were doing that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't even know if I have any online or anything.
Really? You kind of hid it from the
Yeah,
internet.
I mean, I was sort of, I didn't really hide it. I just walked away from all of my old social media and forgot all my passwords to my old Facebook and stuff like that. And
yeah, because when I researched you, none of that came up.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I just moved on to another life, you know.
I had to show this to you guys. This is a book that was given to us years ago. This is copyright 1958. All about airplanes. Okay, so what's this? The Rainmakers. Look at that. Sometimes when rain has been badly needed for a long time, A pilot will turn his plane into a rain-making machine. When the meteorologist says the clouds are right, the pilot goes up and seeds them with a special chemical, and sometimes this seeding does make the clouds drop their rain.
This must be a conspiracy theory book that's all fiction from those crazy conspiracy theorists.
One more interesting thing, I'll let you make your own conclusions about this, but this is the map that it says that they use for air travel because it's more direct. It's, interestingly enough, got the ice wall around it. It's got the North Pole in the middle. It's got the direct flight path from New York to Tokyo. It says, now a plane can fly the Black Line from New York to Tokyo. Doesn't that map just make sense? It says 100 years ago, you would have had to travel the dotted black line from New York to Tokyo. This is a globe Earth map, though. And it's showing how you have to go around to get there. Doesn't make sense. So, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. But thank goodness for the Civil Aeronautics Administration that makes the air safer for us all.
All right, folks, I'm going to wrap this one up. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you very much, and I'll catch you again in the next one. Peace.